One of the 39 categories of work that are not done on Shabbat is the category of borer, melacha of borer, which means selecting. So the way things used to go is when they would want to make the flour from the wheat, after harvesting the wheat, they would take the kernels of grain and they would try and separate them from the chaff. So you would try and separate the kernels of grain from the chaff. And so the process of selection, of making sure that all the chaff is out and that you're left only with the kernels of grain, was called borer. And we too refrain from actions that are similar to that, that replicate that. So the idea is you're not allowed to separate something from the other in a way that's similar to work. But it is permitted under 3 conditions, and let's jump right into it. So what I have here is a mixture of peas and carrots. And so what if, for example, I really like carrots, but I don't like peas, right? So what I'm trying to do is separate the carrots from the peas. So the rabbi said that this is permitted, selection is permitted, with 3 conditions. One is that I'm taking what I want from what I don't want, sort of taking the good from the bad. That's one thing. The other condition is that I don't use a utensil that is special for it. I don't use something that's a professional sifter, like those sifters that you would see people using to sift flour. And the third is that I do it for immediate use. I do it for now. Why? What's the reason for that? Well, when you're preparing flour from wheat, that's work. But when you're eating, that's not work, that's eating. That's something that you enjoy. So the rabbis made it clear that something that's like similar to the task of what's done professionally to separate the wheat is forbidden. So in that case, that's why if you do it for something that's not immediate, if you use a utensil that is professionally used for that purpose, or if you're taking the bad out of the good, all those are a show of the fact that it's done in a way of work. The opposite of that is when you're doing it for eating, so then that's permitted, because the Torah obviously didn't tell a person not to eat, and every eating is sort of a process of selection, and we take what we like from what we don't like. So therefore, it is okay to do it for immediate use. It is okay if you're not using a professional utensil, and it is okay if you're taking the good from the bad. So if you have all 3 of those together, then it would be permitted. So let's say again, for example, I like the carrots, but I really, really, really don't like the peas. So what I would do is I wouldn't use some kind of professional sifter or something that would help me do this professionally, but what I would do is I would use a fork, which is in a way an extension of my hands. The fork isn't accomplishing anything that I couldn't do on my own. And I take the carrots out. That's one thing. Another thing is I am doing this for immediate use. I'm not going to do it for something that's being done later. I'm not going to be doing this for tomorrow. I'm doing it for now. So I want just carrots, and now I'm trying to, oh, there's another pea. I'm trying to separate them. And so, as you can see, slowly but surely, I have my collection of just carrots. And it's, sometimes little kids have that they can't eat from something unless it's completely separated from the food that they don't like. So I separate the carrots. I have here only my carrots, and that would be permitted. Here, so I take it, and I eat the carrots. That is the borer in a nutshell. Now, what if you have a different situation? What if you have an orange? Now, an orange, the only way to eat this orange is if I take the bad from the good. So the good is inside, the fruit that I want is inside, and what I don't want, which is the peel, is outside. So in that case, the rabbis say that if the only way to get to the food that you want is with taking the bad first, taking what is not desirable first, then it's permitted. So what it is permitted to go about peeling an orange on Shabbat, even though you're taking what you desire less first off, because there's no other way to reach the fruit, and that's the way oranges and other fruits that are peeled are usually eaten. So it's okay if I first peel the orange and then eat it. What is a matter of controversy is what if I would need a professional peeler for that? So we said that if something is used professionally to do the selection process, then you can't use it on Shabbat. So for example, this potato, I cannot peel on my own. It's kind of hard. So that's something that's debated. Some rabbis permit it, others do not. See link down here in the video description for more information. And so what you'll see a lot of people doing on Shabbat is when they'll peel a cucumber, they'll do it not with a peeler, they'll use a knife, which is not professionally designated for the process of separating one thing from the other. Others, as long as they are using the cucumber for immediate use, will peel even with a peeler on Shabbat. So it's a debated matter, but an orange most definitely can be peeled using taking what you don't want first. That is definitely okay. Another important thing to be aware of is strainers. So here, sorry. So what I have here is the peas that I was using. And what people will do sometimes is they'll use a strainer in order to get the liquid out. So this is considered something that's designated for filtering, and so doing this on Shabbat would be forbidden because I'm sort of using a professional utensil to keep what I want. And so it would be a problem. I would not be able to do this. This is, of course, only if I'm separating the good from the bad, what I want from what I don't want. But if I don't want both, for example, if you have a strainer at the bottom of your sink and you don't want the water and you don't want the guck that's down there, it's just you don't want them to mix together and you don't want the guck to drain your sink, in that case, you can pour things down that strainer, since it's not borer from one kind and the other. It's just they're both things that are not desirable, and therefore it is permitted. Another important thing about borer is that it's only forbidden as long as you are taking only what's good from what's bad. However, if you kind of still have a mixture, it's okay. So what some people will do is if there's something that they don't want, what they'll do is they'll take it with some of the stuff that they do want. So for example, if I don't like the peas in my carrots, what I can do is I can take a lot of peas with some carrots and remove them, and in that case what I'm doing is I'm removing both, so it's not considered a complete separation. That's borer in a nutshell. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave a comment and I'll do my best to get back to you. Please remember to subscribe. Thank you so much for listening.